Let's talk to Ladona Harvey, though, from Arizona. She's in KTAR Phoenix now these days. She's been in San Diego, but she's still got her eyes on everything that's happening over in the United States of America. And, of course, today, Donald Trump will be very, very pleased to welcome Emmanuel Macron, the soon-to-be outgoing president of France, who doesn't appear to be getting a terribly good grip on reality. And then, of course, Keir Starmer's there at the end of the week. Ladona, very good morning to you.
And good morning to you.
Well, I mean, it's been barely a month since Donald Trump has been the 47th president of the United States of America, and it's been one hell of a ride so far. I mean, it's hard to imagine what he's going to do this week, really, isn't it?
It is. When you consider all of the things that have been going on, I mean, first of all, the guy is a first-class troll. He is absolutely great at sending people into the stratosphere, which sort of distracts them from what it is that he actually is doing. And it was something, and, this is the thing that I don't understand. How did people not know this was coming? He did it last time to great effect, sending people into just absolute tizzies while he sort of behind the scenes was working on things, some of which actually worked. I know. Throw your hands up in despair and clutch your pearls.
Well, exactly right. It's like all the European leaders listening to J.D. Vance, the other week and sort of going, oh, my goodness me, how dare he say things like that? And then even as he was saying them, they were coming true. And even now, they've all agreed, actually, maybe he was right about the defence spending and maybe we shouldn't be quite so reliant on American money and maybe we should stand up for ourselves and all of this. And then just as he was saying free speech is a very important part of our society here in the US of A, we're getting grannies visited by two officers of the police because she wrote something on Facebook.
Right. It's a really weird time. It's a weird time to be alive. We have all of this great technology available to us, and yet we have all of these people screaming that, we shouldn't be using that technology to the fullest, which, I think that as an American, free speech is, and a radio person, free speech is primary to my existence.
Exactly.
It is... It's just a weird dichotomy, isn't it?
Really
that you have all of these weird draconian things coming in, and yet we have all of the technology in the world available to us to say whatever we want.
Well, quite. I mean, one of my favourite stories of the show this morning is that there's something like, I think, 45 fewer jobs in software engineering now, ever since software engineers introduced AI bots that could do their jobs for them. So they're literally cannibalising their own business.
Yeah, I mean, and AI is something that our governments have not caught up with at all. They sort of understand a vague concept behind it, but they don't really understand what AI does. And I mean, at this point, are there any of us who can't be replaced by AI? Right now, it's not great, but it's going to get there. And
I don't think they can replace us. I don't think they can replace us, Ladona, with AI.
I love to think that I am singular. Well, I may in fact be wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think that will ever happen. I think the point about, I mean, I've had long conversations with this, and we don't want to get too seriously into the whole media landscape. But I think news is certainly going to be produced by AI, and there are people doing that already. But I think opinion cannot be, because you can't invent opinion. You can't predict what you're going to say or what I'm going to say, because we don't even know.
Right, exactly. My mouth is moving. My brain is still lagging somewhere behind.
Right, or something like that. But let's talk as well about Elon Musk. I mean, the pearl clutching, as we call it here, of the federal government employees who have been told to justify their existence by sending an email response by 5 p.m. today, I think it is, I don't know if that's Eastern time, to Elon Musk to say what they achieved last week. I've actually been putting it to various people, and I put it to an MP. I asked him what he achieved last week, and he said, "Oh, actually, I had a few days off."
Oh, so,
well,
lovely.
It's like, well, hang on a minute. You're supposed to be, working for the people here. I know it's half term, and you might have kids, but that was the best he could come up with. I'm not going to ask you, because I'm only asking like people that I think should actually have done something for the general well-being of the nation. And since you're in a different country, that's not the point. But why are they getting so worked up about having to justify what they do?
I think they're worked up because somebody is taking a look at government agencies for the first time in I don't know how long. Yeah. Now, do I agree with the whole sunglasses and chainsaw thing? Not necessarily.
That's a bit silly. That's all theatre, isn't it?
It's just theater. And it's Elon Musk, who is not elected. He's not a politician. He's just being Elon Musk, which is phenomenally weird and yet somehow simultaneously brilliant and also very weird. The threats of people's jobs, I think, have them very afraid, and they should. Anytime your job is threatened, you should be very afraid, but you should also be able to say in a very quick email, oh, here's what I did last week. I helped, 43 Social Security recipients get signed up for Social Security. I worked them through the process. We got them on these plans. This is what I did. I mean, I would be able to do it with my job. Most of us would be able to. Is it legal what he did? But we're working through that.
Well, the thing is, you shouldn't also be in a position of having a job where you work for government and you get paid by the public taxpayer and the public taxpayer purse without having some fear that you might lose that job one day. You should have a job for life where you can go in literally like they used to do. I had a friend who worked in the Indian civil service. He used to go into work in the morning, put his jacket on the back of the chair and walk straight out the door. And then he would go back in the afternoon, pick up his jacket, put it back on again and go home. But he never spent any time actually in the office because nobody cared. And that's kind of where we've got to in this country, where an awful lot of people, I'm sure, are working from home. They're not doing very much. They're not actually contributing much to the general good. And they're being paid quite well for it. Thank you very much indeed. And if you ask them a question, they threaten to go on strike.
Yeah, we've had quite a bit of trouble with public workers unionized. It's fine if you want to unionize, that's great. I wouldn't belong to one, but that's because I've been in one. And they have essentially jobs for life where if you're a public school teacher and you are paid by the public, by the way, and you touch a student, we just can't fire you. We can't fire you. Why can we not fire you? Because you have union protections. That sort of thing drives Americans absolutely batty. When they go in to talk to somebody at the DMV, and the DMV here is notorious for having, ladies with excruciating long fingernails who type very slowly and give you a lot of dirty looks while you're trying to register your car. That's a caricature, but we've all run into that. And that person is paid by you, me, the rest of us. We want you to be nice. We want you to do a job. Do it. Seriously, just do what just do the job. What it says on the tin. It's not difficult. It really isn't. Great to see you. Thank you very much indeed. Ladona Harvey once more talking to us from Arizona, of course. And of course, we'll be talking to her again.